What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another NBA Rundown brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. The NBA Rundown, the show that thinks whoever thought of the NBA playing should be promoted, not fired. Tyler, how are we doing today?
We're good. We're on a nice little streak in the NBA with bets, so trying to keep that streak going.
Yeah, I mean it's been tough to navigate. I think we've been doing pretty well. I think we've been, giving everyone an early look, which bets to place right in the morning and which ones to wait on. And with that, away we will go. The first game we got to talk about is the Chicago Bulls heading to Charlotte to take on the Hornets, where the Hornets are catching four at home, which to me was a little surprising. I mean, the Bulls are they have not been winning. I think they've lost what, like 11 of 14 since making that trade. 11 of their last 15. They're 4 games out of the last play-in spot. So, this has been a disaster as they kind of moved all in to make this move for Vukovic, and it's just not paying dividends. So, obviously, they need to get things better tonight. I would like Charlotte here. The main concerns here is that Devontae Graham's doubtful. Miles Bridges is the one that really worries me, as he's such a good defender for this Charlotte team. But I still would lean towards taking the +4, but Miles Bridges being out made it just a lean and not a play. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree on the +4. This Bulls team just hasn't looked good, even when they're fully healthy. And Levine's coming back from COVID, and we talked about it before the show. I mean, guys coming back from COVID haven't looked good right off the bat.
Exactly.
One play I really like here is the under, though. I mean, you're going to get two bottom four pace teams with offensive ratings that rank 19th and 26th, and defensive ratings that rank 6th and 13th over the last 10 games.
Which is wild on the Chicago side, right?
Yep.
I mean, I'm surprised that their defense is doing so well.
Yeah, but I mean, I love the under there. I think you see one team crack 110, but I don't think. I mean, you might not even see both teams crack 100 here.
Yeah.
But
All right, that number's 217.5. So we both lean Charlotte, but looks like the under is the best play if you want to get involved in this game of 217.5. Any props for this game, or do you want to go to the next one?
No props in this one.
Have they even come out yet?
No, not with the news on the Chicago side, because those two guys haven't been officially rolled in yet.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be nice if you had the +4 and then they didn't play?
Yep, but I mean they're probable, so I think they'll play.
I expect them both to play. I'm capping them both as they play, and I still lean the +4 even with them in the game. Let's talk about another game that's rather similar. This time, Dallas is catching 3.5 at home against the Brooklyn Nets, who have lost 3 in a row now, 2 to Milwaukee. Seems like they would be eager to get back on the right track here tonight against the Dallas team that you think that they could exploit a lot easier than that Milwaukee team. I mean, Milwaukee really ate them up on the perimeter. A great perimeter defense there. The addition of Holiday and Tucker they just showed how important they were. Giannis played fantastic, of course. So those were some good wins by Milwaukee. I tell you what, raised my stock in Milwaukee a bit. Really impressed with how they played. But I didn't downgrade the Nets at all. And so because of that, I like Brooklyn here tonight going against the Dallas team that we've talked about before. Luka's great, but don't trust the supporting cast. Tim Hardaway Jr. did do great in Miami, but, I mean, is he going to keep doing that, especially against a Brooklyn team that's going to be a lot faster? I'm not so sure. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean I agree here. I think this is Brooklyn's get right spot. I mean, this Dallas team has been clicking, but I just think it's a tough matchup for him with this Brooklyn team because we've seen this. The size has been what kills Brooklyn. So, and Dallas really has no size here. Kleber out.
Yeah. Porzingis
Kristaps
out,
out.
of course.
Yeah, so they could literally switch on all on the defensive end, just like our guy HTP said in the Discord.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think -3.5 to 4 is a steal. I mean, who's guarding Durant? Nobody.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be terrible. It's a really bad matchup. So, and I think they're gonna be motivated to get back on the winning track here. If they come in winning those 2 games against Milwaukee, I'd probably be on the other side, right?
Yeah,
Because they'd probably be feeling themselves doing good. But nope, I think we're gonna get a good one out the bat.
Nash made a statement after last game too. He says we can't just be
waiting for James.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that as well. So, all right. Well, we both like Brooklyn there. Did you have any lean on this total? I mean, 234 seems high, but is it?
I mean, these two teams should get up and down the floor, but I'd probably lean over because I mean,
Yeah,
Brooklyn just pours it on.
Yeah.
And then when in a spot like this, I think we see them hang 125 to 130.
Yeah. All right. So we like so the first game we like the dog in the under. The second game we like the favorite in the over. Let's see where we go here. The Washington Wizards. They are on a roll. Although they came up short against the Bucks last night. Unfortunately for me, because that was my play, they covered the spread. Very tight game. Bertans, boy, that guy went from being terrible to pretty good all of a sudden. So we'll probably credit Westbrook for that, though. Regardless, now they are heading to Toronto to take on a team that just got back from the road trip, right? So that's the dreaded first game home from the road trip. And I think a concern for Toronto here is the health, as usual, because I see um, OG Ananobi is doubtful, and I think he's a big piece of their team. Rui's doubtful on the other side. Do you think that about equals out?
Yeah, I'd say it about equals out. I
Yeah,
think maybe he's the better player, but I mean
right.
Toronto's got a lot more pieces on that side.
Yeah. So, anyways, I hate to do this because the Wizards have been playing so well, right? This is a fatigue fade for me. 5 games in 7 nights, and the Wizards. I mean, they've been getting up and down the floor. That game was intense last night. I usually do not like the dreaded first game home from a road trip, but at least Toronto got some time off. Wizards have just been playing too much. They've been playing well. It's tough to get in front of them, but I just think that this is the night where the steam runs out. I like Toronto here.
I got to go with the other. I got to jump on the other side. I
All
just
right, let's
can't.
hear it. Give us why.
I just can't get off of that Washington train. I mean, what are they?
Okay.
Let me pull the stats up. 5-0 ATS in their last five, 4-2 in their last six against Toronto, 5-0 in their last five on the road,
Yeah.
8-1 in their last nine. I mean, this is that same thing in how the Knicks were doing it about a week ago.
Yeah.
You just gotta. I just think you just gotta stay on the train until it loses. Tonight could be that night, though. You could be on the right side here, but
Yeah.
I'm
I
staying
mean,
on the Wizards.
I think it's going to be kind of similar to the game we saw last night that we were on the wrong side of. So maybe I'm trying to overcorrect here. But, we liked Phoenix last night against Atlanta, but we knew it was a spot like this where they've been playing a bunch of games, on a road trip and that they might run out of gas. And they certainly did because, boy, that game wasn't even
We're
close
also
towards the end.
that's also a 1 seed to a 10 seed that's trying to fight their way in.
What do you mean?
The
Oh,
Suns
yeah,
are
yeah,
the Suns are the best overall record in the NBA. They have nothing to
exactly.
play for. Washington's the 10 seed,
Well, they
still
want to
fighting
keep
the
that one
play-in.
seed, right? I mean, the Jazz can still come back. It's not like they're locked in.
Yeah, but you could take a game off here and there when
Yeah.
you're that high up in the rankings.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is definitely a controversial take here. The chat's with you. Otter on the over says Wizards man ride the wave. Our guy West Coast says take the Wizards, and Otter's there with you again. He says let's go Tyler, ride that Wizards wave. So let's see if you guys will be surfing USA or if the fatigue finally catches up to them. Any look on the total here of 236?
Yeah, I'd lean over.
Always
I just
over in
can't
the Wizards,
I
right?
can't take an under in a Wizards game.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you there. So we're opposite on the sides, but we both like the over in that game. Let's go to a 5 o'clock game. The Pistons, boy, they've decided not to play anybody tonight. Let's see. Let's go. Who's all out? Plumlee, Dennis Smith Jr., Josh Jackson, Corey Joseph, Jeremy Grant, Rodney McGruder, and Hamidou Diallo went for 35. So now he's part of the team must rest because these
Yeah,
guys
be like
they're not messing
you
around.
played well, you got to
Yeah,
sit.
you go chill with the veterans on the bench,
Yep.
man. You're playing too well. So because of that, it seems pretty obvious what this Detroit team's doing. They did pretty well against these bigger spreads early in the year. Now it's just too much for these guys just running this really short lineup here. I know it sounds square, but hey, we saw it last night. Lay it with these big spreads. Teams are winning by like 30. What are they going to do? Hang on minus 30? I mean, it's like they can't make these big spreads high enough. It's almost like this could be the biggest advantage here. And we've been saying it for the past week. Oh, I don't want to get involved in double digits. Oh, I don't want to get involved in double digits. And every night I sit down, and the double digits are the easy covers, right? And I'm sitting over here sweating a -2.5 or a +4 or something like that, right? And it's like, why not just lay -10 and the team's up 28?
Yep.
So I like Memphis here, man. John Morant he had some big comments about he's a top 5 point guard. I think he should be pretty motivated to back those up because I know he caught a little flack. So I think we're going to get a great performance from him tonight. And this Pistons team we talked about, if you play good, you get benched. So we're not getting the best Pistons out here. Give me Memphis. I'll lay the 9.
Yeah, give me Memphis too. I mean, I think they'll have Jaren Jackson back in this game too.
Yeah.
They're going to push the pace like they always do, even on a back-to-back. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that -9, I think the pace just helps them too. They just
Yeah.
push it up and down the floor, and that gets it.
All right. And you mentioned the pace. The total's 222. What do you think of the total?
I lean over
All
because
right. Yeah.
I think Memphis hangs 120. At that
Okay.
point, you
Yeah.
just need Detroit into the hundreds.
I'm not getting involved here. I mean, I would probably lean under because I just don't trust Detroit's ability to get the scores. But the pace is the issue here, which is why I'm staying off here. Because if Memphis is just running and gunning, it's not going to matter. Even if
Yeah,
Detroit's inefficient, they'll get to
I'd
100.
rather take the -9, but if you're
Yeah,
pushing
I
me
do
on the
too.
total, yeah,
Yeah, so I think the
give me
side's
over.
much cleaner than the total here. Why? I think the total's going to be pretty close. The total's going to be a sweat. I'll bet it'll probably be
Yeah,
pretty close towards the end. I think this -9 you'll be feeling good in the third quarter. So give me the Memphis Grizzlies there. Let's just fade these tanking teams, especially a team like Detroit that's announcing it by basically a guy plays good and now all of a sudden he's on the injury report. I mean, it's just
yep.
wild. All right, Tyler, but this is the game that I've been waiting to talk to you about since Twitter exploded last night. Let's talk about the Indiana Pacers. Tyler, what is going on with Greg Foster and Goga Batadze? And why did they suspend Greg Foster and not the player? What's going on there?
I have no idea what's
Can
going
you
on with
believe
that.
that?
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, they could be down a couple other guys tonight in this game. A
So
couple of
for
key
those who
guys.
didn't see it last night, right? Greg Foster's an assistant coach for the Indiana Pacers. Goga Batadze is their starting center right now because Miles Turner hasn't played.
Yep.
Goga completely misses a box out, right? Let's the opponent get in there, get the rebound, offensive rebound, put back. So Foster's yelling at him to box out, gets up out of his seat, yelling at him to box out. The next play, I think it was TJ McConnell, dribbles around, finds Bataze for a wide open three who nails it and then yells at his assistant coach to sit the F down. And that assistant coach is from East Oakland. He don't play. So he's ready to go get in his face, fight him on the court. It was wild. I mean, like you're watching at first I'm watching, I'm like, is this team fighting with itself? And they were. They were. Jeremy Lamb had to get up in there and kind of settle things down. Turner was holding Foster back. It was wild. I am out on this team. To me, I mean, maybe there's a little bounce back tonight as they all try to get it, and I would have bought into that. But when they suspended Foster, nope, that's the wrong thing to do. You can't talk to your coaches that way. This organization is out of control. Nate McMillan's coming back to play his old team. I'm down to fade this group of clowns. What's going on here, man? Like, what are we doing? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think you get the whole Atlanta side too because the whole starting lineup only played, I think the most minutes were Trae Young at 26.
Yeah,
So you're going to get that whole lineup.
yeah,
I think the number's short on that side. And you could be down on the end. We know they're down Miles Turner.
yeah.
They could also be down Jeremy Lamb, Edmund Sumner, and Malcolm Brogdon's also doubtful. So I don't expect him to play.
Yeah.
So it's literally going to be Sabonis and LeVert out there. So yeah, give me Atlanta here. I think Atlanta blows them out.
Yeah, and Capella's gonna. That's a terrible matchup for Sabonis, right? I mean,
Yep.
if I was thinking of a guy like, hey, like I need one game, I need someone to guard Sabonis. I'll
Give me yeah.
Capella's gonna be in the top
If
three.
you're not going to take
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert, you have to take
Yeah,
Clint in
but
that
I'm not taking
situation.
Rudy, Giannis. Right, it's going to be Capella, right? I mean,
Yep.
he's in the top three, top five, right? Maybe we could think a couple more if we really brainstorm. But the point is, it's a great matchup for Atlanta here, and I can't believe that. So this is such a turnaround here for the Indiana Pacers, who started 5-1 and basically wanted to subtweet Nate McMillan in all their press conferences. Oh, we got a new coach. Oh, the new coach has us running a modern offense, right? Now 66 games in or whatever, they've completely turned on this guy. Okay, so now they've turned on two coaches in less than 2 years. You know what I'm thinking? Maybe it's not the coaches. Maybe it's the players that have an
Yeah, it's
issue
time to
here.
break up the group.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if I'm Indiana, you really got to take a serious look at this. And I thought that Bjorken had done a great job. So I'm wondering where all this friction came from during the season. And I'm sure we won't find out until somebody's ousted, But I'm sure there's going to be a great athletic article about it, especially if it looks like Bjorken's going to lose his job. I mean, do you think he will?
I think there's a good chance with the way they're suspending coaches right now instead
Yeah.
of players. I mean,
Yeah.
they might start firing everybody in the front office.
Yeah, I mean that's just wild. The fact that he got, and maybe it's just because they don't have another center. I mean, does that have something to do with it? Do you think
I
that's
mean,
why?
I think it could, but at that point, You still can't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Jakar Sampson's questionable. My guess is if he doesn't play, right? I mean, then they got to go to that lineup with what's that guy's name? O'Shea Brissett,
Yeah.
who's like 6'8" at center.
Yeah, but I mean, you still can't just let a guy get away with doing that to a coach and then suspend the coach.
Yeah, it's just
Like if
ridiculous.
anything, you gotta let it just go, and they both still come to the next game.
Yeah, give me Atlanta. Same thing. I'm not even touching this total here. 240 seems like it could go over, but here's why you don't play it. Because what if you get the complete Pacers meltdown? I
Yep.
mean, what if this team just quits?
Yeah, that's why I like the -6 here.
Yeah, I like the -6 here too. So stay away from the total. I mean, maybe even let's say you made me like say, oh hey, someone's in the chat filling out a parlay of every side in total. I would even take the under on the idea that the Pacers might have a meltdown.
Yeah, we've seen Atlanta be more defense heavy this year, so
Yeah.
yeah, give
So
me under.
all right. We will move on. But yeah, that was my little rant for the day. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, the whole thing was wild to begin with, but it's like, okay, whatever. This is the NBA. This is the Pacers, right? They had the Malice in the Palace. How old were you
Yep.
for that?
What year was that?
2002, I think.
6 years old?
Do you remember it?
Not really.
Okay. I
I mean,
remember it being absolutely wild.
I didn't really
like,
watch the games back then either, especially
yeah,
the
that was
Pacers
before
game.
internet video, so we were all watching it like on Sports Center and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I still can't believe it. And the other one that I'm sure you don't remember, I was working at the newspaper at the time, which shows you how old I am. I worked at a newspaper. Was when Spreewell coach was choked. I think it was Calipari was the coach. And I remember because I had like a real military, and he was so upset. My supervisor, I can't believe he choked his coach. I can't believe he choked his coach. But anyways, those are just some fun stories. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they suspended the coach and not the player after that shows you what's going on in Indiana. Here's a game where I talked earlier about laying the points, laying the points. I don't know if I'm going to do it. And we've talked about the Thunder before. To me, it comes down to one thing. Give me that Dort status. I do not have it right now. He's still questionable. Maybe it'll drop at 10:30. But Golden State's laying 14. I don't know. If Dort plays, should I take the points, or is this just a complete stay away no matter what?
I mean, I think it's that same spot Detroit's in. It's like we could just see OKC go out there and just give up, and Golden State just runs away with this and just shoots them out of the gym. Yeah. So I mean, and just like you were saying it earlier, these big spreads have been the ones that have covered pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, should I go for Golden State here? Should I go for Golden State here?
If you had to pin me down to a side on this game, I'd take the -14 over taking the 14 with OKC.
All right. So the Thunder covered their last two games. They only lost by 4 to Sacramento on a 5.5 spread. They lost by 3 to Phoenix on a -15. But before that, they lost by, what is this, 57? That's terrible.
Yeah,
and then before that, they lost by 14 on a 9.5 spread. Yeah, I don't know.
And we know Golden State can light it up from 3, so this could get very out of hand quick.
Yeah, I know. Hey, West Coast got me here. He says, I'm taking all these double-digit favorites, and he says,
yeah, see?
Yeah, I turned on that pretty quick. But, yeah, all right. If Lou Dort's out, let's take it. If not, I'll stay away. What do you think? Are you going to get involved regardless?
I think there's better spots on the board, so I'm not getting involved in this game. But if you had to pin me down, I'd take Golden State.
All right. Yeah. All right. I don't mind that too. Let's talk about what should have been the marquee matchup of the night. Now it's kind of a dud. The Clippers are laying 8.5 to the Los Angeles Lakers with a total of 2-11. Is this a little too much here? I think it might be. I think that I would lean taking the points with the Lakers. I know Schrader's out, but hey, they looked pretty good against Denver here. Is AD starting to feel himself again, and some of these other guys absorbing the usage that Schrader left behind? What do you think here? I lean towards taking the points.
I lean the other way. I lean towards the Clippers.
Right.
I don't think AD's starting to feel himself anymore. I think he's still a little banged up.
Okay.
And I mean, you've seen him in that game. He gets hit in the face under the basket.
Uh-huh.
He just stands down there. He holds his face and acts like he's hurt. And then you go to timeout, and it's like, oh, he's going to be hurt. He's going to be hurt. And then out of the timeout, he walks back out on the floor completely fine. So I mean, he's just out there lumbering around. And I think this is just a bad matchup for the Lakers right now without all their guys. I mean, you're missing LeBron. They check one of these two guys.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to guard them now? You're missing Schroeder, who's your main point guard now that LeBron's out.
Right.
Horton Tucker's questionable, so there's another guard out for him, maybe.
Do you even think he's that good?
I don't think he's that good of a player, but I mean, he does score. Not a lot, but he scores the ball for them.
Yeah, all right.
Which
Yeah,
makes
I'll
me
give you-
love taking the under here because we've seen these LA teams, when they match
Yeah.
up, these scores are pretty low.
And the line reflects that at 211.
Yep.
Yeah.
I still like the under in that spot, though.
Yeah, okay. I think I lean with you towards the under, and obviously, if you like the under, I think taking the points can be okay. Tyler likes the Clippers. He made some great points with that game. All right, Tyler, we got a little extra time today because I'd like to stay on at least until the injury report drops, and let's at least get the 10:30 injury report. So let's just go over some real basic stuff. What do you think overall about like who do you like to come out of the East? If you were to place a bet right now. Coming out of the East, who would you take?
If I had, say, like $100 free bet and they were like, you got to pick a team to come out of the East.
Yeah. With value
gonna,
and everything, right?
Yeah, that's probably going to be not the most popular take, but give me Milwaukee.
That's the one that I'm giving out right now, too.
If they said the coach is on the hot seat, I think he just kind of like, all right, I got to do something here. And that lineup of DiVincenzo, Holiday, Middleton, Giannis, and Tucker really intrigues me when it matches up with the Nets. Because if there's no Harden, I think that lineup beats the Nets in 4 out of 7 times.
I think so, too. I think that PJ Tucker, that was the best. I thought Drummond was going to be the biggest buyout candidate. Nope, Tucker. Watching him out there, he fits in so well here. And I'll tell you what, I trust Milwaukee to stay healthy the most, right?
Yep.
With the Nets, I have to worry about Harden. He's got a hamstring. Even if he comes back, hamstrings get re-injured easier. It's not like a broken wrist where you come back.
And with Philly, Embiid's always got the injury factor.
Yeah, I agree. And I even like the way that Milwaukee matches up with Philly. I think that they can kind of trouble them, and I really like how that perimeter defense is going to work. Those will be 2 great defensive teams if they end up meeting.
Yep.
All right, so we both like Milwaukee. I think you can get them at like what, plus 600?
Yeah, I think it's like right around there, plus 600.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best value. Obviously, this is based on the numbers. If they were minus 110 with the Nets, I'd probably take the Nets.
And we haven't even seen the Nets at full strength. I was preaching that before. It's like, it's like they should win it right once they're at full strength. But here we are, 6 games out of the playoffs, and we still yet to see them at full strength.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Landis says if KD's healthy, you can forget it. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the issues, right?
It's not even Durant. Durant and Irving can be 100%. It's James Harden being there.
Yeah.
Because look, what did we see with the Bucks games the last 2? I mean, I know they're regular season games, but both of them guys were there. One of those games, KD put up 42. They still lost.
Yeah.
So that key piece is Harden missing.
Yeah.
Because you put Drew Holiday on Irving and you let Giannis chase around Durant. Mm-hmm. But then who do you put on Harden?
And Tucker had great minutes on Giannis, and I didn't expect that. On KD, and I didn't expect him to do so well.
Yeah.
Against KD.
I mean, he's been doing it for years when he was in Houston, having to guard him when he played for Golden State. So he's used to it. Mm-hmm. And with that lineup, you screen somebody for Brooklyn, they can switch everything on the Milwaukee side.
Yeah. Tucker
can switch onto a guard. Giannis can switch onto a guard. So, I mean, what do you do at that point?
So do you know what's going on? Is Nico Claxton back tonight, or is he gone for a while?
I could look into that real quick and see.
I'm looking right now. I didn't see him on the other one, but sometimes they just take him off if they're. So I don't see him on either report.
Let me check one other place real quick.
Because he didn't play, did he, in the last 2 games? And I think that he would be nice on Giannis.
Let me see. Yeah, he didn't play either of those last games, right?
Yeah, Otter's not big on the Nets. He says Harden always disappoints in the playoffs. KD is injury prone, and Kyrie thinks the earth is flat, not scared of the Nets.
Yeah, it doesn't show him on the injury report here either, so I'd say he's back in.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll be interesting. I think that he would actually be a nice.
Oh, he did play 5 minutes in that second Brooklyn, in the second Milwaukee game.
Why would they only give him 5 minutes? Yeah. All right.
He must have just been coming back.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the West real quick. Who do you like to come out of the West here? And obviously take the odds into the factor.
I mean, this is a tough. Let me pull this list
up. It's tougher, huh?
Yeah, I got to pull this one up.
All right. Yeah. Pull up the standings here and let me know what you think. right
Not
now.
even just the standings. I want to see the odds and see where the value's at. Let's see.
Yeah, Phoenix isn't even in number 1 seed anymore with that loss to Atlanta. So Utah's number 1 right now, 48-18. Phoenix 47-19. Denver's in third now. They moved ahead of the Clippers, 44-22.
There's absolutely zero chance I could take the Lakers at plus 175.
No, of course not.
Because I mean they look just. I mean I don't even know what to describe it as. I'd probably just have to take the shot on the Clippers.
What's their number? Do you have it? Do you have a number for them?
Because I mean I can't trust the Jazz because I still don't think
I don't want the Jazz at all. They're completely overvalued.
And I'm still not 100% sold on Phoenix because we've seen Chris Paul fold in the playoffs. And outside of him, who has experience? Jay Crowder, that's it. None of the other key pieces do.
Yeah, that's a great point there. Yeah, great point here. So I'll tell you who I wanted that I was going to take the big shot on was after the Murray injury. I wanted to take Denver at the huge number, right? But
and
then with
Barton
PJ Dozier, well, Barton should be back, but I think Dozier's going to be out for the year now. That was the one that was like, I don't think they can.
Yeah, now they're just missing too many guys. It's like I can't trust them. If they had all their guys, they were the team, though.
Yeah, I know. I really felt like it. Dallas, I got no interest in, and no one from.
There's no like dark horse that's going to come flying out of nowhere. Like Golden State's not going to shoot their way into the finals.
Yeah, I think that if you were going to bet it, I think that right now the Clippers are pretty much your only option, which is tough to say because, boy, they were so disappointing last year. And what have they really done to alleviate their concerns for the late game execution? The bad shot selection.
One name.
Rondo?
Yep.
Well, how do you think he affects that team, and how much do you think he's going to improve their shot selection in the playoffs?
I mean, I just think he's just that much of a floor general. Late in the game, they'll have him on the floor. Mm-hmm. He'll be setting up the plays. He'll have Kawhi and Paul George in the right places to just catch and shoot. So, I mean, I think he helps out a ton. I mean, we see him do it early in his career in Boston. We seen him do it with the Lakers. He played that year with the Pelicans, and he was feeding AD. Yeah. He played with Chicago with D Wade. They looked good that year. So, I mean, why can't he do it with the Clippers?
Yeah. All right. I think you made a great point there. Let me get your thoughts on the play-ins. Who do you think will end up in this play-in? Do the Lakers fall all the way there, or do you think they can get out of it?
I mean, they have a very tough schedule to pull out of.
Well, they get 3 easy in the last ones. Their last 3 are pretty easy. So they play 4 tough games right now, and then they have 3 easy ones.
All right, so on the west side, so Golden State's pretty much locked in because they're the 9 seed. Mm-hmm. The Pelicans could play their way in, but the Spurs, I think, hold that 10 seed because can't trust the Pelicans to win games at this point.
Didn't you think the Spurs were the most disappointing team last night?
Yeah.
Getting blown out like that?
That was bad.
Yeah. Especially for a team fighting for that spot, keeping the Pelicans, keeping them alive.
Yeah, and then, I mean, between the Lakers and the Trailblazers for that last play-in spot, that could be a toss-up because Portland could get hot at any second. Their shooters could just start hitting, and then they win 4 in a row to finish the year.
I mean, looking at the schedule, I think the Lakers go 3-4 to continue here. Let's see. I think the Blazers are going to play the Lakers. They'll probably win that one. And then they play San Antonio the next night. That could be a tough situation there. They probably win that. Then they'll play Houston. They win that. Then they go to Utah. Not necessarily a win. Then they go to Phoenix. Not necessarily a win. And then they go to Denver. So they probably go 3-4 as well. So, I mean, it could come down to, will that be a tiebreaker? Whoever wins Friday night's game?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I'm not sure, statistically how that breaks down, but that very well could be the tiebreaker game.
All right, and this injury report's about to come out, but one more question before we address that, Tyler. Will the Knicks win a first-round playoff?
I mean, right now it's looking like they draw the Hawks, so, I mean, that's a very tough matchup, but,
Don't you think that's the best possible matchup for them?
I mean, they just have perimeter shooters, though. That could just make this – if they start shooting from the outside, the Knicks can't really keep up.
But the Knicks know how to, make sure that the guys they want shooting are shooting.
Yeah.
They're not going to just let,
I mean, I'd love to see them win one, but I just think that's a bad matchup for them.
I would like the Knicks over the Hawks. I think I would worry about the Knicks against the Celtics or the Heat more than the Hawks. Of those three teams, who would you like to play?
And what was the three? Hawks?
Celtics, Heat, or Hawks?
Probably the Celtics. You only got to stop one guy.
All right. Let's see. Let me refresh my bookmaker. Not a lot of news today. I don't see anything going off the board, and usually it goes off the board right at this time. All right, Tyler, let's do it. Best bets. We hope everyone enjoyed that. We kind of extended for nothing here. I thought we were going to get some important news. This is like I think the one time during the show that the whole board hasn't just gone off right at 10:30. So we can give the best bets out, and the people watching will be able to place them right now because these numbers are on the board. Tyler, what is your best bet? Side, total, or prop?
Give me Atlanta -6.
Atlanta
I think they
-6.
blow them out.
I can't argue with that. I say it one more time. I'm disappointed in the Pacers and their decision there, and it has to be somewhat motivated by the fact that they don't have any other center. But I think that's really going to be tough for the team and just the coaching staff to overcome. I'm with you there on the Atlanta Hawks. My best bet of the day. Give me the Brooklyn Nets to bounce back, -3.5 in Dallas. We talked before about Dallas's problems with the depth. Luka's usually the best player on the floor. Might not be the case tonight with Kevin Durant out there. That could be a decided advantage for the Nets. I think they bounce back. I think they get right, and they beat this Dallas Mavericks team that's been up and down. So give me the Brooklyn Nets. We like the Atlanta Hawks. We like the Brooklyn Nets. Tyler, do you have like a bonus prop that you got for everybody?
I don't, but I'll put one out on Twitter for him.
All right.
I don't have one right off the top of my head that quick. I'll get one out on Twitter.
All right. Follow at th_412 to go ahead. Is that right?
Yep.
And then you'll get that prop later today. For Run Pure Bets members, I will be on the Keg Live show tonight. So, of course, you need to be a member to hang out. Go over to runpurebets.com. Use the promo code BETS25 off to get access to all the plays, all the articles, and, of course, all the videos. Should be a fun one tonight. Gregory Russo's telling me Atlanta just got pulled off the board.
It's just all the guys are just getting their questionable
I still have
tags.
it on Bookmaker.
Yeah, but I still see it. Jakar Sampson got rolled out.
See, I'm telling you, that has to be why they didn't suspend him. Yeah. So, all right, Tyler. Anything else before we get out of here?
Nope, that's it. Let's just cash these tickets tonight.
Yeah, Greg, I'm not sure why Atlanta's not on. I mean, I don't think Jakar Sampson matters that much, so maybe they're waiting on some Brogdon news. But I still see it on Bookmaker at -6. It didn't change, so I'm surprised it got pulled off. But here we go. We will be back tomorrow. Yes, we still like Atlanta, regardless. I can't imagine any news that would come out unless it was like Trey, Capella, and Gallinari all being out, right? I mean, it would take a lot to get us off this play. We're just in a fade Indiana mode. Obviously, pretty disappointed by all that last night. So, everybody, thanks for watching. We will be back tomorrow, same time, 1 p.m. Eastern, and then we will be back Saturday. That's pretty much all I got. Tyler, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.